Welcome to episode 1 of the Hot Take Sports Podcast. I'm Brady Bam, and I'm here with Matt, Clayton, and Isaac. So, what were you guys' thoughts on World Series Game 4 tonight?
As boring as games 1 through 3.
The end of the game reminded me a lot of the movie The Bad News Bears.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Strictly because of just everything that happened on that play.
Yeah, the misplay in center was really bad. The botched rundown between third and the plate after
That
Rosa ran and Daniel Jones' way down the baseline.
Love it.
It looked like me playing baseball.
Yeah,
honestly.
That's depressing. Who else Daniel Jones today in college football? We watched somebody do it.
I'm gonna say, I know it was the Minnesota-Michigan game.
It was one of the Michigan
It was
players.
Michigan's number 8.
Yeah.
That's tough.
No, the Rays came back to tie up the series.
No, it was nice to see somebody actually take a lead in the World Series for the first time.
Actually, yeah. I think there was like 3 or 4 lead changes.
For once.
And there had been no lead changes in the first 3 games.
So that was kind of entertaining.
I mean, it was definitely the most exciting game of the World Series. I mean, there have been a couple of rallies throughout, but probably the most exciting game throughout.
Especially at the end.
I'm going to say, at the end, you had the hottest hitter at the plate draw a walk when he was down 1-2 or something like that with 2 outs.
Something insane like
You had a pinch runner, defensive replacement come up with 2 outs, hit under 200 during the regular season, hit a walk-off single, and the Bad News Bears came out of the LA Dodgers.
That's called luck. Very, very lucky.
Hey man, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Amen.
Facts.
The Rays absolutely finessed that Game 4 win. They need to capitalize on it. They need to win tomorrow, head into the Monday off day with at least some momentum.
Good old pivotal Game 5.
Do you guys think the Rays will close it out, or
No, I
do you
think
think
the
the Dodgers
will
recover
win.
from their collapse?
I think Mookie Betts will help them.
I think
Come
the
back.
Dodgers have won every odd game so far, and I don't think they're going to stop now.
I guess, yeah. There was a trend like that last year where the road team won every single game last World Series. I mean,
Aren't they all road games?
Yeah, this year.
I mean,
Especially this year.
I mean this year, yes, but sometimes there's odd trends. Considering the whole Astros scandal, the fact that the Nationals won all 4 of their games last World Series in the Astros Stadium, it's kind of wild to me. So sometimes there's just those trends. And, this World Series, you have the odds and evens. You have Corey Seager and Randy Arozarena going back and forth for the home runs in the postseason record, because Seager tied it earlier on in the game and then Arozarena broke it.
I did see that. Yeah, my dad was very upset because, we let that guy go so freaking Tyler O'Neill could play.
Matt's
Top
a Cardinals
notch.
fan, just for all our listeners out there.
Yeah. You didn't need to say that. It's...
They would have figured it out
really
eventually.
yeah, but all the rest of them are Indians fans.
Yeah,
so I'm
Isaac,
not
Brady,
that
and
far
I are
behind.
Indians fans. And then there's Matt.
Yeah.
There's got to be one in the group, right?
True. Very true.
Granted, the rest of our fanship is kind of everywhere, depending on who we're talking about.
That is also
That's
true.
alright. That's not important right now.
I mean,
Nope.
we do all agree on Ohio State, though.
that's true.
They put a solid spanking.
We'll get to that.
On
We'll get to
Nebraska.
that.
Yeah, we'll
we can
get
get
to
to that
that.
right now if we want. I mean,
I was gonna say that was
my biggest problem. Yeah, that was kind of a transition, guys. Y'all figure that out eventually.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how this came No, the weirdest part of that game was seeing Ohio State's defensive line not look like the best in the
I was
country.
gonna say,
Yeah.
they looked really weak against the run.
Yeah.
Well, they'll just
when
improve
McCaffrey
over
2.0 comes out of nowhere and breaks for 50 yards in the first drive, that was a little terrifying. But
Well,
it's
they'll
okay.
get better over the season
I mean-
now.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
And
Their run game looked pretty good though too.
And I will always
Yeah,
say...
but that's definitely not true for almost the entire first half. Master Teague had 12 yards and a touchdown to start, and Justin Fields had the other 50. So That was a bit of a slow
All
start.
right, Clayton.
We'll
Say,
figure
what were you
Yeah.
saying, Clayton?
I will
Sick.
always say this about Ohio State is that they are the biggest second half team in the country.
Oh, I agree.
Totally.
Last year, Big Ten championship, when we stopped watching. Went outside, played football on our own, came back in. Hey guys, we're winning. Go away. Go back outside.
Go back outside all day.
Gotta do what you gotta do, you know.
Hey man.
Hey, always.
I'm gonna say, looking at it, yeah, Justin Fields went 20 for 21, 276 yards, 2 TDs. Master Teague, 12 carry for 41 yards and 2 TDs.
41 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's what you want for fantasy football. I don't care how many yards you get. As long as you find the end zone a couple times, we'll roll with it. Let's
Nebraska's quarterback was 12 for 15, 105 yards, no TDs
go.
or picks.
15 passes in a game? That's crazy.
Wow.
But their run game was insane.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
So,
that.
I'm gonna say,
Don't
look
forget,
at the run
Justin
game.
Fields had one drop
I'm gonna say,
at halftime.
their run game was pretty much what it was. McCaffrey had 9 carries for 87 yards.
yeah, he's a quarterback with quotes around that.
Yeah.
He's
I highly
Yeah.
doubt
gonna
that.
be like his brother.
He's gonna be
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's gonna be essentially Taysom Hill is what he's looking like for
Pretty
Nebraska.
much.
Pretty much.
But Martinez, he had 12 rushes for 77. They combined for like 30 rushes, 35 rushes is what it looks like. 2
Yeah.
TDs.
But all in all, that wasn't even close to the good Big Ten game of the day.
Nope, not at all. Indiana and Penn State.
For sure.
The OT thriller.
That was wild to watch. I'm still sus on the call. Just
I am
saying.
too.
Just saying.
I
The
agree
call
with-
was very sus.
I'm not mad that they didn't overturn it, but
Honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if they did or if they didn't. That's just one of those plays where you just kind of look at it and
Flip
you
a
don't
coin.
really know. Yeah.
yeah, it helps to be a neutral fan because obviously, if you're a Penn State fan, that definitely was out of bounds beforehand. But if you're an Indiana fan, it's too close to call, so you have to go with what's on the field.
That's just a toss-up. Flip a coin. Just honestly, just flip a coin.
But if Indiana's kicker doesn't screw up the kickoff, words are hard. It's late. And shatter his helmet on the sideline. Did you
Oh,
see that?
yeah.
He
After,
throws
like-
his helmet down after the kickoff because coach came over, was screaming at him, and right across his face you see this little red piece go flying. But you might need. All right, never mind. Just let him go.
Yeah, that
Kicker, he
helmet
doesn't
was
need a helmet
dead.
anyway.
I think he had to get a new one.
Maybe that's why they went for 2.
That'd be a wild story. Or
Yep, that's
the
why they
kicker
went to
broke their
first.
helmet, so they were forced
They're
to go
here
for
first.
2. Oh my
there are
gosh.
some other ranked
D1
teams.
school, they didn't have any extras. No way.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No
And
way.
then-
Too poor.
Unranked Virginia almost beat Miami, Florida today. Miami, Florida only won 19-14. They're ranked 11th.
Wow.
But guys, it's okay. LSU finally won a football game.
Ooh. Can we bring up
you thought
the
you were
Trevor Lawrence versus Justin Fields debate? Because they're probably the two front-running candidates
I
for
agree.
Heisman.
I'll tell you
right?
in the
All
championship
day.
Fair enough.
I firmly
Honestly,
believe
I
that.
can't think of another player in college football right now that could have a legitimate claim bigger than those two guys.
No,
I
Yeah,
could not.
I'm with you on that one. Yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence threw a pick 6 today.
Yeah, but you got to think of how many yards he's thrown for
Syracuse is still
consistently.
a much better team than Nebraska.
I mean, yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
But see,
At the end of the day, though, Syracuse was only 1-4 going into that game.
But
Yeah.
see, you have to think about it though. Part of the Justin Fields will throw a lot less interceptions because Justin Fields is a scrambling quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is not.
Well, Trevor Lawrence also could be when he wants to.
I'm gonna say he had 4 carries for 17 yards today, but I mean,
Didn't he
you
run all
look
over
at
Ohio
it.
State last year, though? Wasn't that why they lost? Because Trevor Lawrence broke for like
I
20-yard
don't-
runs?
Yeah,
I don't
know
know.
the targeting call. He just kind of went off.
I don't know,
after
but
that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he had 43 passing attempts today.
That's crazy.
27 for 43 for 289 and 2
He's
touchdowns.
40-some versus Nebraska's quarterback's 15.
I'm gonna say Syracuse's quarterback only had
Run-based
26
offense, what can I
attempts.
say?
And who knows if this is real, but Trevor Lawrence said he wouldn't enter the draft. The Jets got the #1
That
pick.
whole big quote, I still don't
I
trust it.
yeah.
It has not been confirmed yet, and I don't
I
I
was
gotta
gonna
see
say-
Trevor Lawrence saying something
I
like
was gonna
that. Not
say-
that drastic.
Especially if you're gonna be the #1 pick,
I feel like you just
sign a
take it,
deal.
bro. Your signing bonus is more than I'm gonna make in my lifetime. So
Yeah, pretty much.
At that point, it's worth it. Like, go to the Jets, suffer for 5 years, because you know darn well they're gonna pick up your option whether you're good or not. We all know they're just gonna decline Sam Darnold because all he does is see ghosts anymore.
He's gonna be a professional athlete. He can just say, "I'm not showing up to practice till you trade me," and he'll be out of there before he knows it.
Pretty
and
much.
anyone will trade for him.
I could 100% see him doing what John Elway did when he got drafted number 1 by the Baltimore Colts and just refused to play.
Yeah, what
I
Eli
could
Manning
100%
did too.
see him doing that.
How Eli Manning got out of San Diego.
Yeah.
I feel like if Eli Manning would have ended up staying in San Diego, Phillip Rivers would have ended up getting taken by the Giants and just staying there. That would have changed a lot. That draft had Big Ben, Eli Manning, and Phillip Rivers.
Is Jacoby Brissett still on the Colts?
Yeah,
Yes.
Jacoby Brissett's still on the Colts.
Okay,
They're
hot
quarterback.
take. The
Quarterback.
Colts need to bench Phillip Rivers for Jacoby Brissett.
You think so?
I think so. I think that Phillip Rivers is now, I don't want to say too old, because he's still a fairly decent quarterback.
He's overrated.
Yeah, I will agree with that slightly.
Overrated.
I think that Jacoby Brissett right now is what the Colts need to focus on.
I
in
think
my
they should have
opinion.
stuck with him. I'm just disappointed by the Colts because coming into the season, they were supposed to be like a top 5 defense in the league, and that was supposed to carry their game, and their defense got crapped on by the Browns.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
the Browns are actually decent.
I'm gonna say,
Shut up.
Decent.
like you can tell the Colts are
How'd
struggling.
your last game go?
I don't want to talk about
Yeah,
it.
alright, that's
Let's talk
pretty bad.
about tomorrow's game.
we're gonna talk about it.
Okay,
'cause
you're
we have
playing
to
the
reflect
Bengals.
on
If
it.
you don't win tomorrow, you might as well just end your season.
What do you
Fair
guys think
enough.
of Joe Burrow so far, though?
I think
in
Joe
his
Burrow's got
development?
no help on his offensive line. He's got all the receivers that he needs.
I
He
was
just has
gonna
no
say,
offensive line.
outside of everybody but AJ Green.
Joe Burrow's barely lost a game in his lifetime since he was playing like flag football when he was 5.
He's
He doesn't
legit.
know what to do when he has pressure on him against the defensive line. He doesn't know how to throw the ball away. He doesn't know how to slide. We've all seen those videos.
Brady, he's worse at sliding than you.
That's
Just so you know.
that's
That's
painful.
that's
That's
terrifying.
brutal.
Yeah.
Like I say, I definitely do not show off any athleticism.
I
right
definitely
now.
think he's gonna win Rookie of the Year, though.
Oh, I mean, he has
Well,
no
who else would
competition
win it?
for
I was gonna say at this
True.
point,
Jonathan Taylor.
I was gonna say
No.
at this point, Tua won't win it unless Burrow gets
Oh
hurt
my
and Tua
God.
goes
Unless he
off.
goes
Tua.
off in Miami.
Yeah.
Poor Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan
That man needs to be
Fitzpatrick
traded.
Yeah.
should be the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins right
Yeah.
now.
Ryan
absolutely.
Fitzpatrick should be the quarterback of the Dallas
He
Cowboys.
can be the quarterback of almost any team in the league. Statistically, he's almost there was some statistic I read that since like the middle of last season, he's been better than Patrick Mahomes. Statistically. Obviously, he's not better than Patrick Mahomes. We all know that. I have him as the best quarterback in the league. Y'all can say whatever you want. But, like, he's actually leading the Dolphins to be good.
I was gonna say
The
that
Miami
was
Dolphins.
supposed
The
to be.
Dolphins and good have not gone together in a
That-
hot minute.
That should say that
That should
should
just be a
have been.
hot take.
That should be Fitzpatrick's team.
I think that they're
All
messing
day.
up. I think that the Dolphins are
Hold
messing
up.
up by putting two.
Let me find my own tweet. Where's this at? Where's this at?
I don't know, but Fitzpatrick needs the Cowboys, and the Cowboys need Fitzpatrick, especially after Dak went down. Because Andy Dalton is not the answer for the rest of the year. Neither is their other backup, Ben DiNucci or whatever.
They're going to trade for Sam Darnold. I heard that rumor.
Isn't he hurt?
Yeah, but I heard that rumor that
Bro,
he might
Sam-
Well,
trade
he's
for him.
just as useful.
Bro, Sam Darnold only sees ghosts anymore. That's why he can never complete a pass.
And for you guys listening, we do have a Twitter page, which is Hot Take Sports 16. We're posting hot takes and other sports updates almost every day on there. And we also have an Instagram page, Hot Take Sports 4. Also posting hot takes and sports updates there nearly daily.
And here's one of our tweets. Only the Dolphins would look at their QB spot and say, you know, we have one of the best quarterbacks statistically in the league. Not acceptable. Let's start the injury-prone rookie.
That's almost like the Browns, folks.
Why?
What do you guys think of the rumors, what Stephen A. Smith said the other day about OBJ and Jarvis Landry should want out of Cleveland?
I think if Charles Barkley gets fined for saying get Devin Booker out of Phoenix, he should
That was
have said
Draymond
too.
Green. Draymond Green got fined for saying that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Close
That
enough.
was pretty fine. Yeah.
Same principle, I guess.
Draymond, Charles Barkley, same thing.
He's
I
got
will
no
say,
right to
Charles
that.
Barkley
That's
had one of
what
my
it would be.
favorite quotes of the bubble when they were talking about calling Paul George playoff B.
You
You don't see
call
them
me
calling me
Championship
Championship Chuck.
Oh, man, that was by far the best quote
That was great.
of the entire thing.
Yes.
Guys, I want to go back to college football real quick.
Sure.
Wasn't Maryland supposed to be decent? Like,
I-
am I crazy? Like, I thought Maryland was
Yeah, Maryland's supposed to be decent.
last year
They-
and was supposed to get better this
Yeah,
year.
they're supposed to
Yeah.
be better this year because that's where Talia transferred. He went to Alabama, so that way he wouldn't be in Tua's shadow.
Yeah, okay. So they lost to Northwestern 43-3.
Did Talia play?
That's a great question. Stats. Yeah. He threw 14 of 25 for 94 yards and 3 interceptions.
I think it's like 4 picks.
And the other guy behind him, LeJandre. Alright, cool. 4 for 4 for 49 yards.
So that sounds
Even
like they're
worse.
very heavy on the run game.
Oh, it gets better. He also ran 3 times for negative 16 yards.
Oh my gosh, people.
The guy had a total of like 78 yards.
I mean, I kind
and
of
3 picks.
I mean, I kind of feel for Talia because at this point his last name gonna put so much pressure on him. That's probably part of the problem. First game, completely different atmosphere, completely different part of the country. You've got the weight of the world on your shoulders because your brother led Alabama to a championship.
Yeah.
So you have to live up to that name on top of COVID season.
Plus the weather from Alabama to...
I'm gonna say you go from the South to Maryland.
That's what you get for trying to go from one of those fancy little southern schools to the Big Ten. Where you
Because the
play
Big-
in actual football weather.
Because you can play in Minnesota, which got 5 inches of snow last week. Or
Yeah.
you could end up playing in Ohio.
Freaking Rutgers.
For now, it's been fairly mild. You know, across the Big
Yeah,
Ten.
70 degrees with 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
bro,
much.
bro, going to Rutgers
Across-
is where you want.
Across the Big Ten, weather is a legitimate factor. It's very inconsistent, especially in the fall.
I was at fall and winter in Ohio and Michigan. It kills because Michigan snow, Minnesota snow, all that stuff just piles up. Build a snowman out of it.
Matt and I were talking about this earlier. That must really, obviously we wouldn't know at all, but from an NBA player's perspective, because you could go to a place like Minnesota where it's negative 20 and snowing all the time, down to Orlando or to Miami where it's 75 and sunny during the winter.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'd be a different environment for players, something to get used to.
Well, you also indoors for that, too.
Yeah, but at the same time, you
But
know,
there's still a whole different feeling to your lifestyle. I mean,
Yeah.
That is true.
walking around in Orlando during the winter or Miami, even when you're just hanging out with the guys on a non-game day, is going to be a lot different than walking around, say, obviously Minnesota or Milwaukee.
Than
Or,
not
Or
being able to get to
Cleveland.
any of your teammates because there's 12 feet of snow.
I was gonna say a lot of people are gonna want to go to warmer places like Miami and Tampa Bay.
Like AB.
I'm gonna say
Oh,
Speaking of Tampa Bay,
Like
And
stupid AB.
Brown.
Antonio Brown jumping on the Tampa Bay bandwagon to sit behind. He's just gonna sit behind Godwin and Mike Evans.
Yeah, he's
Mike Evans
absolutely stupid to go to Tampa Bay.
Dude, they need
Just
to turn
because
it up, bro.
they have 2 good
They-
wide receivers already. Let's be honest here.
Evans and Godwin need to turn it up. They to me, they've looked like, oh, we got Tom Brady. He'll be able to throw the pass. We're fine. And Tom's like, well, if they're not going to try to get open, Gronk, catch this for me.
Well,
He's
but-
like,
But
Or
see,
his other good tight end.
see, here's my thing. Gronk's barely played. They have so
did
many
you
times.
watch last game?
Well,
He
no,
did all the work.
no, like
Yeah, Gronk
before last
actually
game,
played well last
before the last
Gronk
couple
is
games.
injury prone already, and he was carrying
I'm
the
gonna
team.
say,
Yeah.
It's not
That
off
is
his
true.
back.
Gronk was like getting nothing before the
Gronk
last
had to
like 2
play
games.
into shape, all right? Give him a break. You need the first few weeks to get ready.
Part of the problem with the Buccaneers though is they have so many running backs, so many receivers. They have like 3 starting caliber tight ends.
Yeah.
Like
That is very true.
it is ridiculous the amount of depth they have.
Well, you could also
But the
argue.
underwhelming performance that they run out week to week. Like the Bucks were more exciting to watch when Ryan Fitzpatrick was under the helm for 3 weeks while Jameis Winston was out.
Especially when he pulled that close
I'm just going to
out of the
say,
locker room.
I've got Ronald Jones the second on my fantasy team, and if they after 3 straight 100-yard plus games, if they give his carries to Leonard Fournette at all this week, I'm going to be fuming.
Leonard Fournette.
It's going to happen.
I can't believe
I
the
know
Jags
he's going to
got
get
him.
like 8 carries.
I cannot
this
believe
week
that the
for
Jags
12
decided
yards.
to move on from him.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that
like,
was
like
stupid.
James Robinson's good, but if you had Fournette and Robinson,
They're in
that'd
the
be
middle of
deadly.
a massive fire sale right now.
Yeah, but I had Fournette on my fantasy team last year, and that was so depressing. What a roller coaster, dude. Sweet 40 yards in the first quarter. End the game with 48 and no touchdown.
And then he sucks
Oh.
this.
I was
I
gonna
mean,
say
if it makes you feel better, going back to Mike Evans, he had 1 catch for 10 yards last week.
Oh,
He
Hey,
got
man.
me 2
Poggers,
fantasy
bro.
points.
Poggers.
Cooper Cup. Join the club.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, but he has Baker Mayfield throwing to him, so you don't have a chance.
yeah,
anyway.
Baker
Who am I
You guys-
kidding? I got Jared Goff, bro.
Did you guys see what OBJ tweeted after all those rumors came out?
Something about crap hitting the fan, and he was really excited. My bad.
Okay.
Too far. My bad. What he said.
He said that he wanted to stick with Baker and he still trusts him. You know? That shows hopefully that the Browns can pull it together. They need to rebound this week though. They need a big game this week.
that
Yeah,
entire
well, this is the game to do it. They're playing the Bengals.
Exactly.
that
This
entire
is a perfect
draft
week
class.
to take a breath, rebound, try and get back to what you're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing.
But they're
go
missing
from
their
there.
big tight
To
end
say
this week, though.
Their big
Yeah.
tight end, but that's
yeah,
not even their
we
game
know.
plan. Their game plan is to run, and their 2 top running backs, although they have 4 that can run the ball, their
Yeah.
top 2, one is out, injured, and the other one has been on and off. Hamstring, knee, ankle, anything.
Just, yeah, Chubb is slowly starting to become more injury prone. They're gonna have to rely on Baker a lot more.
Plus, because he's such a power back, and if he's in the game, he should be getting like 40 carries a
And
game.
if we're talking about power backs, let's just talk about Tennessee's running back.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick
You mean
Henry.
Derrick Henry?
King Henry.
Absolutely
Absolutely
plastered someone.
Oh
Henry.
boys,
Who,
I have
who
a
wasn't to be plastered?
flaming hot take right now.
Flaming hot take.
Let's
A
hear
couple
it,
weeks
Clayton.
ago, when Derrick Henry stiff-armed Josh Norman,
That's right, that
it
was
made
Josh
me think
Norman.
Josh Norman is the most overrated cornerback in the NFL right now.
Josh Norman fell off
How?
the face of the earth.
He's made one
Not being
Pro
able to
Bowl.
block Derrick Henry is
No,
not
it's
a
not
reason
just
to be
because of
considered
that.
Oh,
It's
no,
not just
yeah.
because of that.
How did that make you think of
Well,
it?
no,
then?
like-
You
Well,
got
I thought
picked
that
by
I thought
six,
that
whatever,
way
2
before.
I was gonna
years.
say, I'm
He's
with
made
Clayton.
one Pro Bowl in 9
I was gonna
seasons,
say, Jo-
and he thinks that he deserves the big caliber money
I
guys
was
like
gonna say,
Stephon
yeah,
Gilmore have.
Yeah, everybody
In my
like
mind,
bowed down
he's
to
not
Josh
worth it.
Norman.
Gilmore's the best corner in the league.
I'm gonna
Maybe Jalen Ramsey.
Everybody like
Even
bowed down
Richard
to Josh
Sherman.
Norman.
He's
Well,
older. He's obviously not what he was.
Well,
in his
Josh-
prime, but he's still an extremely good
Oh,
cornerback.
for sure.
like when Josh Norman was in DC and Carolina, everyone bowed down to him. 'Cause he was this lockdown corner, Pro Bowler. But like I said, he only made one Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
But
Like,
is that
he's-
because he did lock down? He just never got the interceptions. Like, does that put him in the same boat as like Julian Edelman, who will catch 170 yards
Julian
a game
Edelman.
and score 0 touchdowns?
That's kind of what Jerry Judy's doing right now his rookie season.
That's true. Jerry Judy.
The Broncos are just a hot
Sucks.
mess because either Drew Lock's healthy or he's hurt.
Well, usually
Cortland
that's
Sutton's
how it
I was
Bro-
gonna say that tends to be how sports
Well,
work.
well, but
Especially this season.
Well, but, like, more
Well,
often-
you know, you're either in or out. It's either a catch or an incompletion.
well,
He's
but,
either
like,
down or he fumbled. You know,
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
principle.
But like more often than not,
It's either incomplete or hit the ground.
Drew Lock
Or
is
what's a catch in that?
Drew
Let's be
Lock
honest.
is Drew
here.
Lock is out
It's
more than
usually
he's
when the
in.
ball's in your hands and you get 2 feet inbounds.
Which is a struggle for some teams like the Browns, by the way.
That's because Odell Beckham Jr. only has 1 hand.
That's fair. Good point.
Very true.
Legendary one-arm guy.
And Jarvis.
Were you guys
Okay,
watching that
I
game?
refuse to say that. Odell Beckham Jr. is the guy with big hands,
Bro, it was sarcasm.
expensive gloves, and 1 cool play.
Bro, it was
Tell
sarcasm.
me I'm wrong. Go
Bro,
for it. I don't care.
You're
I've
not
been
wrong.
saying this for years, dude. Since he was in New York.
Bro, this man probably just put super glue on his gloves.
Exactly. He doesn't do
He
crap.
had one amazing
I
catch
mean,
this year, and
he
that's about all
does,
he's
but,
probably
you
gonna
know,
have.
He
Let's
did have a nasty catch this year. Other than that, he's getting paid by Gucci to wear a $15,000 watch during a game.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
that
if
was
Gucci
last
was
year.
paying me $500,000 to wear a watch, I would do it too.
I'll take the $15,000 fine and take my profit.
Yep.
Oh man.
Oh.
No, the NFL is just everywhere right now. There's like so many different tiers of quarterbacks right now.
In my opinion, I thought this for the MLB too during the regular season. The NFL probably should have tried to do a bubble. I understand
agree.
that for football that's a lot more difficult than, say, for basketball or even for baseball. But I think that in order to contain the spread of COVID, which we've seen, throughout the league,
Like the
throughout
Titans.
these first couple of weeks, Titans being the biggest example of that. I think that if they wanted to try and contain the spread, the best way to do that would be the bubble, and I think that the NBA did a great job of that.
I thought the bubble worked well.
Honestly,
The
I thought it did a great job.
MLS
Great
did
idea.
it, NHL did it, and all of it seemed to work really well.
I think
I was
that-
gonna say, it's worked really well for the MLB, at least during the playoffs, I know.
I think NFL should go to a bubble in the playoffs.
That I
See,
agree with.
The playoffs would make sense because there's less teams. The problem is they restart. Well, they didn't restart. They started from the beginning. So you can't just pick a certain few teams to start the season.
Right.
Except for like the EHL is doing that or something like that.
Yeah.
The
ECHL,
ECHL, yeah. Which is the AA minor league hockey team, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
that
about
makes
half
no
of the
sense to me.
league is starting on December 11th, and then the second half of the league would be starting
Why
in
do you keep
mid-January,
messing with that light?
I don't know.
pending some sort of approval by their respective jurisdictions, whatever that may be.
Speaking of leagues that make no sense to me, Khabib, what a guy!
Going out on top. What a
He
guy.
did go out on top.
I mean, wasn't he like 29-0?
He's 29-0. I don't blame him for
We'll see.
going out right now. He's 31, I believe.
Okay, that makes a little
I
more sense.
don't blame him for going out because he was really close with his father.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, truly best friends from birth. What? What do you have to say, Braden?
How can you possibly rebuttal that right
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm not rebuttaling
Go
it.
for it,
It was-
Brady.
go for it.
Say it.
Come on.
Say
No,
it. Give
spit
it
it
out.
Richard.
Spit it out.
Come
I
on.
have no
Richard.
rebuttal.
Come on.
It was no
Come
rebuttal.
on, Richard.
It was more of like the face you made. Just like the way you're like best friends since birth. Like,
But I did see on Instagram today a comparison of Khabib right after he was overcome with emotion and was laying on the floor of the octagon. Michael Jordan after he played his NBA Finals game on Father's Day for the first time after losing his dad.
Oh, yeah.
It's a similar situation. It's something that those two guys, I don't even know if they've ever met each other, but even if they haven't, it's something
That'd be
that
wild.
it's something that they'll share.
that'd be wild.
What do you guys think about the potential return of Conor McGregor to the octagon as well, since we're on the topic of
No
UFC?
one's surprised. Everybody knew he was going to be back.
I don't disagree. I didn't think he was going to be retired. This was the third time he's retired. I thought he would come back.
So I
He's
mean,
going
he's
to
retired
retire-
more times than MJ.
Yeah,
I
he
think-
retired twice.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Retired.
Not MJ. Brett Favre. My bad.
It might be 3 times, though, because technically the one time he went to play baseball.
Yeah.
I thought that was after the first time he retired.
He retired
Yeah, he
once.
retired to go play baseball, and then he came back to the Bulls, and then he retired again, and then he came back with the Wizards, and then he
Oh, I
retired.
always
Yeah,
forget
that
he
would've
came
been
back
3
with the
times.
Wizards. I always forget about that.
Yeah. That was back when they had those ugly, like, blue and with the
Oh.
blue
Those
pole.
jerseys. Those
And he
jerseys
was
were
trash then, let's be honest.
Hey, he wasn't trash. He still scored 20
I was
points a
gonna
game.
say, I
I
don't
was
know
gonna
if
say,
that
the
did
man
Even
ever
Bradley
get trash.
Beal can't carry the Wizards. Calm
Man,
down.
no,
Bro, the
that
only
is
thing
true.
Bradley Beal can carry is the ball for a 5 or 6 step travel.
Alright, where do you think
Man,
Bradley Beal
if
is
he can
going
score
to go?
30 points a game, he's staying. He's not going anywhere.
Bro,
And
I
we
think-
also have to remember, going back to the Michael Jordan on the Wizards, he played a full 82-game season at the age of 39. You know?
LeBron can't do that. Obviously, MJ's the god. Vince Carter can't.
We are not starting to go.
We're
through
not
this
having
right
a
now.
good debate.
No.
I refuse. I will walk
Nope.
out of the room. If
I was
any of
gonna
you
say,
try to
yeah,
start.
there's no debate. Not even allowed.
Oh, I was gonna say, really, Brady? It's no debate. Then who is it?
No, not allowed. That alone would take like an
While we're
hour.
on the NBA topic,
I want to see John Wall turn into like Rajon Rondo this year. 20 assists, 10 steals, and that's it.
It's all for the
Feed
game.
Bradley Beal. Feed Bradley Beal.
I will say, I am excited to see John Wall come back.
Me
his
Oh,
inflation's
for sure.
like what?
He was-
2017.
Yeah, it's been 2 years, yeah.
He was
2018.
super entertaining.
Sadie, she's like, whoa, what's going on over there?
For those of you
Sadie's
who
the
don't
dog.
know, yeah, Sadie's Matt's dog. She just popped up behind the couch.
Alright, while we're on the NBA topic, let's talk about free agency.
Fred VanVleet to the Knicks. Hot take.
That's not that hard to take, though. A lot of people see that coming.
But see, I think the Bucks will try to pursue him if they can
You think
find
so?
them. They can find the money. I think.
I was gonna say, where are the
Bledsoe?
Bucks gonna find the money?
I don't know, but if they can somehow find it, like even if it means getting rid of Bledsoe, Van Vliet, Middleton, and Giannis, plus Brook Lopez down low,
I
feel like that's pretty solid. But, like even if you're doesn't matter if you're playing Van Vliet at the 1 or 2.
Don't forget
as
about
long as you're
Matt's
playing
favorite
him.
player, DiVincenzo.
He absolutely hates him, by the way.
I don't hate DiVincenzo. I am very proud of what he did. I'm just annoyed. It's not fair. My guy played one good game his entire college career, and poof, he's an NBA star.
Did somebody say
in
Cardale
the
Jones?
NBA.
Question mark.
Yeah, seriously.
Bro, what do you mean? Cardale Jones never made it farther than the freaking practice squad.
Cardale Jones, I will
Hey, he still got a
say.
contract. I don't know what you've got over there, D3 baseball player.
Wait a minute, he quit the team!
D3 player coach.
I'm sorry.
If you haven't noticed already, we like to pick on him.
Oh, you watch it, bro. You're next.
I know I'm next!
Bro, you need to just.
Yeah, you yell a lot.
Indeed.
You're gonna wake up everyone and their mother.
No, my mother's already awake.
I met her mother too.
Oh. That's why.
Never mind.
You heard
Move
me.
on.
Okay, so...
Fred VanVleet is going to stay with the Raptors.
Why?
I
Why do you
don't
think he'll stay
I
in
don't-
Toronto?
I think he likes it there.
Shut up, Siri.
Do you think Miami would be a team to go after Van Vliet though?
No, why?
No.
Why would they need him?
need
I'm just.
Tyler Hero, Kendrick
I'm just
Nunn,
trying to
why do they
think.
need him?
Yeah, they
I'm
don't
just
need
trying
him.
to think
And
of like
Goran
teams.
Dragic, they don't need any
Well,
more.
Goran Dragic is a free agent.
That's
now.
He's
true.
coming back. He's
I was
coming
gonna
back.
say
Yeah.
he almost has to resign with Miami.
I think Fred VanVleet is to the point where he's got enough swagger and enough experience that he wants to lead his own team. I don't know if he's ready for it. Only time will tell. But I think he wants to, and obviously the Knicks are a perfect place for him to do that.
I'm going to take a hot
I'm gonna
take
say
right
either
now.
the Knicks or the Magic. I think would be.
I don't think the Magic go after another point guard. I think
I-
they develop with
yeah.
what they have.
They're gonna try and
Other
go with
than-
Markelle Fultz. I think.
Other than you need to move one of Aaron Gordon or John Isaac.
I was gonna say.
in my opinion, the Magic probably should move on from Jonathan Isaac. Don't get me wrong.
They're
I
gonna-
like Jonathan Isaac.
They're
I
gonna
love
get
watching
more-
him play
They're going to
defense.
get a lot more value out of Jonathan Isaac than they will Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, Jonathan Isaac is a great defensive player. I'm definitely respect his game defensively.
But he's already had 2 major injuries.
Yeah,
But
he's
see-
already had 2 major knee injuries, and he's 23, 24.
Something like that,
But
yeah.
see,
He's still very,
where do you
very
send
young,
him
very
to and
early
for
in his
what?
career.
Like you gotta find a trade partner who's willing to surrender what you need back. Who's the 2 down in Orlando?
Terrence Ross,
Terrence
probably.
So I mean,
Or
if
the
you
other
could,
dude they had.
Well, DJ Augustine plays some too.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
can,
Mostly Terrence
He's
He's
Ross.
I
a free
mean,
agent
if
now.
you-
Argentine is.
who's
Is
their
he?
4?
Yeah.
Aaron
Aaron
Gordon.
Gordon.
That's right. Duh.
And then Nikola Vucevic is their 5.
Sure.
Alright, hot
What
take
was,
here,
your, what
boys.
was your hot take? We had to get back to that.
Yeah. My hot take, Fred VanVleet will end up with the Cavs. Somehow, someway.
The last thing the Cavs need is another guard.
guard.
Oh my gosh.
I think the Cavs do absolutely nothing.
For those of you who don't know, Isaac and I are Cavs fans. Brady likes the Utah Jazz, and Matt's a Minnesota Timberwolves fan.
Yeah, you want Devin Booker.
Well, yeah, I want Devin Booker.
Why would you
doesn't
not
want
want
Devin
I would have
Booker?
one of the most disgusting big threes. We've never played defense. Our games would be like 160 to 150, but hey, as long as we win every once in a while, I'm happy.
I
More than,
can
like,
honestly
15
say,
times.
as a Cavs fan, I know we have way too many guards. I would still take Devin Booker.
Exactly.
You'd be dumb not to take Devin Booker on your team.
The best thing for the Cavs at this point is to give Kevin Love where he wants to go. Send him to Portland, get a draft pick.
CJ
get,
McCollum.
Clear
I don't know,
up
Zach
cap
Collins.
space.
I think Zach Collins might be a good fit.
Maybe Hassan Whiteside. Screw it. Make Andre Drummond a 4. He can shoot the 3
No,
ball.
make Hassan a
I was gonna
four.
say I'd
No,
He
you
can
want-
shoot though.
Yeah, you need to
That's
make Drummond the 4 there.
And
Drummond's a much
Hassan's
better
a way
shooter.
better rim protector than Andre Drummond.
I
Andre
agree
Drummond's
with
a glass cleaner, but he's not a rim protector.
That
And
is
we
true.
saw Hassan
I-
Whiteside when everybody was out for Portland. That dude was averaging like 4 blocks a game.
I
It
was
was
gonna
insane.
like I said, Portland
Hassan
is turning
Whiteside is a free
everyone.
agent now.
That
They can sign
Portland
and
had,
trade him. I
Yeah,
can see
that's
That's true.
They can sign and trade.
but like Portland's been a forward factory. Like even Carmelo looks good again.
That's true. I don't know. It's kind of funny to watch when Portland plays. Some of the reactions of the teammates, because they, like, who was it? Somebody was standing in the corner. I think it was Yusuf Nurkic. Was standing in the corner, and Carmelo catches the ball, and he just started, like, walking away. Because he knew he was just going to take a dribble and shoot it. The guy was like, oh my gosh, stop!
I will say, though, both Nikola Vucevic and Yusuf Nurkic are 2 of my favorite players in the league to watch. Because they're unselfish centers who are out there trying to win.
Absolutely.
In my mind, I like watching them play.
Alright, I have a question for you guys. Where do you think Camelo's going to go? Is he
Carmelo's
going to stay
staying.
with
He wants to
Portland?
stay.
Oh, I
He'll stay in
think
Portland.
I think there's no chance Carmelo goes anywhere other than back to Portland. Literally,
he did.
He needs.
I heard
Dame.
something about how if... Oh, who was it? I don't know. It was if, like, a certain player goes to the Knicks, he's willing to go back with him. I don't remember who it was.
Probably
for the
JR.
Lakers.
I was going to say, it's J.R. Smith.
Probably JR.
No, it was a point. Oh gosh! Oh, I'm so annoyed that I don't remember who it was.
I mean, the Knicks casually signed D Rose and Melo.
Let's talk about the D Rose rumor for a minute here. I 100% think that the Lakers should at least try, because I think personally, as long as he stays healthy, D Rose could be a good backup point guard for Rajon Rondo.
But
I think he would be a starter, though.
But why do they need him?
They have one
Yeah,
Rajon Rondo. Why do you need the
they
second one?
They've got that's another what, 12 to 15 million dollars.
Is he making that much?
Yeah.
I didn't
He
think he
might
was
be.
making that
I
He
much.
might
thought
be.
I thought he was. I don't know. I'm truly just going off of 2K, and that's the last number that I can remember. I don't actually know, but that's another contract. It's Derrick Rose, so obviously he's getting some money.
Right.
And his best play is slashing to the rim, and that's not what their point guards are meant to do.
Alright, so if they're
Their
going
point
after...
guards are meant to just lob it into AD or LeBron, or just pass it over to a shooter for a 3.
The thing that
Slashing isn't really what they need from their point guard.
I will say, going back to the Lakers and their point guard situation, my favorite thing about them having LeBron at the point is you have to guard him like he's a scorer.
Oh, you have to guard 94 feet for sure.
Yeah, because he's a. I don't want to say he's a pass first player necessarily, but he's obviously a very talented passer. He led the league in assists this year,
He's
right?
got the highest basketball IQ that anybody will ever have.
Right. But you have to guard him like a scorer, which makes him one of the most dangerous players in the league still at the age of 36.
Alright, if you're going to pick up D Rose, just go for like an extra 10 mil and just pick up Chris Paul.
That's a lot more than 10 mil.
I was going to say the Lakers are going to have
contract.
nowhere near that amount of money this offseason.
But see,
They have two
like,
max
I
I
contracts
mean, like,
already.
other than the
I
Lakers,
mean-
though, like, where would D Rose fit?
Chris Paul would be better because he's a passer.
Where
Yeah.
Chris?
He's too
I don't-
expensive. Unless he's
That
willing to
is
take
true.
a
Derrick
massive
Rose
pay
needs
cut.
to be on a team that it's him and 4 shooters.
But see, like, but like, where would that
Warriors? Question mark.
I
They
mean,
already have Steph
they have
Curry.
Steph Curry,
right.
already.
You could do
Who is
you
their
could do your-
backup point guard?
You could
right
do your
now?
best 2K impression and just move Steph Curry to the 2,
Like,
Klay
you could-
Thompson to the 3, Wiggins to the 4, Draymond to the 5, and then just let Derrick Rose dribble through everybody and just throw it out to somebody.
If
You
you
just
ask
throw it
me,
to one of the 4 spots. somebody
here's
will be
another hot
open.
take from me. The Warriors will be either a 4 seed or a 3 seed next year because they'll have their 2 best players back, Klay Thompson back from a knee injury, and Steph Curry, who will have all this offseason to rehab. However long it may be, we really don't know quite yet. There's still some scheduling things up in the air. And in my mind, they need to draft James Wiseman, that center out of Memphis.
Yeah,
I
they
will
don't-
argue with you on one thing.
What is that?
I think they're the 1 seed, depending on how James Wiseman does after they draft him.
Really?
If James Wiseman comes in and as Sadie, no one loves you. I swear. Stop talking. Where was I? James Wiseman. If he comes in and is the top dog center that he was for Kentucky, is that where he was?
He went to Memphis.
Yeah, it was Memphis.
Blue and white, it's the same thing. Sorry to Kentucky and Memphis fans. I'm lying. I'm a Ohio State fan. I really don't care about you guys until we see each other in like the Sweet 16 or whatever.
Or the finals.
That's not. Memphis doesn't make it that far, anyways.
Or they could.
We wouldn't know. We didn't have
we would
it.
have found
I
out
know.
last year anyway. Moving on.
If he comes in and is this top dog center that the Warriors have needed for years, well, I think they've needed for years. Obviously, they didn't need it because they won three championships in the last few years. But if he comes in, I think they're better than the Lakers because James Wiseman is dynamic enough that I think he can guard AD eventually. Now, if they played him first game of the season, Anthony Davis can destroy him. He's not
Right.
caught up yet.
It's
But by
just the experience factor there.
Exactly. By the end of the season, if James Wiseman has grown into his game and grown into the team, Steph Curry healthy, Klay Thompson healthy, if Andrew Wiggins finds his spot in the system, plus you have floor general Draymond, and then James Wiseman at the end of it, I think their team's insane.
I would say if everybody's healthy, the Warriors will be probably the biggest threat to the Lakers.
They will be like the first team in history to go from the worst team in the NBA to the best team in the NBA in one season.
I'm going to take a hot take here. I think the Nuggets are going to get the 1 seed.
Nuggets are
I'm just going to take a
Anyway.
hot take.
Come on.
No.
Bull
Anyway.
gets Rookie of the Year.
What?
Hot takes.
Who?
Bull.
Anyway,
Hot takes.
Hot
take.
Anyway,
Bol is not even a top 20 center in the league.
while we're on the topic of the
mind.
NBA draft, where does Melo go?
Melo goes.
Oh, I hate this question because
Goes to the Timberwolves.
because the more I hear it, the more I go, would drafting LaMelo be such a bad thing? I don't want it to happen. To the depths of my soul, I don't want us to draft LaMelo. I want us to trade the pick for a current star. It doesn't have to be a superstar. Obviously, I want Devin Booker, who in my opinion is a superstar. But we need somebody for now. So, maybe you trade for John Isaac and whatever their pick is for the first round pick and one of our younger, not top-notch guys. Nas Reed or something like that. I don't care. But at the same time, if you draft LaMelo, you get that presence in Minnesota that has not been there since everybody went, holy crap, who's this Kevin Garnett guy? Because Cat didn't get to do that because he's been hurt every single year. They brought in D'Lo. We saw that can make a splash in the league, but neither of those guys are known for their defense. And obviously LaMelo's not either. But if you bring in that other guy that has the lights shining on him, which has never been a thing in Minnesota either, that's their chance to build that. If LaMelo comes in and is good, I'm not willing to take the chance on that. I want them to trade the pick.
For me, obviously, Minnesota, they could really use some of that. That big shining light, like you said, who's this Kevin Garnett guy? They haven't had anybody like that. Isn't he, their only, retired number or whatever?
He might be.
The only exception I can think of is that one season with Kevin Love. But again, he wasn't in Minnesota long enough to truly make the impact that Kevin Garnett did.
Yeah,
No, they
because
did exactly
LeBron
what they did with
wanted
Kevin
him.
Garnett, they just threw him out. They're like,
I was gonna
sure,
say,
we'll take your bag of potato chips and pocket lint.
Yeah, y'all can have Anthony Bennett. We'll take Caleb.
I was gonna say, yeah, they got rid of Caleb. They got
They got rid of Andrew Wiggins. That was part of that trade.
Okay.
They won that trade.
They won that
They
trade.
absolutely
Wiggins.
won that trade.
But then, they had Jimmy Butler for a little bit.
Oh, I forgot about
They
I
gave
forgot
up,
that they had
I
Jimmy
think it was
Butler.
Zach LaVine and 3 or 4 first
Oh, I
round picks.
forgot about
Levine,
that.
They were like,
Yeah, they
nah.
gave up Zach
37
LaVine for
games
Jimmy
of
Butler.
Jimmy Butler or
Yeah.
something like that. It was less than half a season.
Then he went to Philly and blew up again. So, there's that.
Now he has a home.
Jimmy Butler has controlled so much of his career.
Very facts. I
Going-
think he found a
speaking-
team with the Heat, though.
I'm gonna say I think Jimmy
He's
Butler
not
will
going
win.
anywhere.
No.
He's finishing his career with the Heat. I cannot have my mind changed from
Talking about the Heat, I want to talk about their general manager, Pat Riley, just for half a second. That man I like how he did it. Miami never entered a rebuild. They never had a draft pick that was higher than 10. They always went for it. They kept their same coach. They knew it wasn't his fault. He's a good coach. What's his name?
Eric Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra, that's right. Great coach. Pat Riley. Obviously, he coached the Showtime Lakers and the Knicks in the early 90s.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. They bring in Jimmy Butler. Okay, he's known throughout the league as being bad in the locker room, being a bad teammate. Well, what Pat Riley did was he put a bunch of guys around him that can take it and give it back to him.
Absolutely.
They did that perfectly.
Absolutely.
Perfectly.
The way the
Absolutely.
Heat built themselves was really nice.
I applaud the Miami
It
Heat
came out of
for doing
nowhere,
something like
dude.
that.
Came out
If
of
you would have told me
nowhere.
at the start of last season that the Miami Heat would be in the finals, I would have called you insane. However, watching them
I
play
don't know
together,
if I had them in the playoffs to start the
I was
season.
gonna
I
say-
had them.
Everything fell into place for Miami this year.
I had them
Oh,
as
yeah.
like doing what Indiana or Orlando do.
A 6, 7, 8 that gets blown out in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pacers and the Magic right now, in my mind, are just kind of stuck in a state of mediocrity
Oh, for
because
sure.
every year they make the 7, 8, maybe 6 seed. They lose in the first round. They get an average draft pick to pick another average player. They don't have that superstar presence. You could say Victor Oladipo,
But he wants out.
right, or Vucevic, which I think he's a very talented center, but he needs more around him. Obviously, he has Aaron Gordon and Markelle Fultz from time to time, who has developed. I think getting out of Philly was
I would
good
like
for
to
him.
see him win most improved this year. I would
Markelle
like to see
Fultz or
him,
Nikola Vucevic?
Markelle Fultz. I'd like to see him play in 75 plus game season and average, like 18 and 8 and win most improved this year. It'd be awesome to see.
Speaking of Nikola Vucevic,
Words are hard.
yeah,
Speak
especially
from
for me.
Indeed.
I'll speak from
I've heard a
experience.
rumor that he might go to Golden State.
Is Golden State going to have enough to get him, though? You got to
With
think
that-
about
They've
that.
got
With
a
that
number 2
pick-
draft
I was
pick.
gonna say,
Yeah, I'm like, with
if
the
I,
draft
With
pick-
that, the Magic would have to draft James Wiseman to replace him.
I was gonna say,
They would
Yeah.
have to draft James
I
Wiseman.
genuinely think the only way that the
Could-
Warriors don't draft James Wiseman if they keep that pick is if someone trades with the T-Wolves to move up to take James Wiseman. That's
But
that's
what
literally
team would
the
that
only
be,
way.
though? You got to think about that as well.
Who's the center in Charlotte?
Cody Zeller.
Cody Zeller.
There you go, right there. There's a team right there that needs a center.
They're definitely trying to get young. The Hornets are kind of in the same state as the Cavs.
Especially with Devontae
Yeah,
Graham.
They're
Really
just
nice
a
this
lot
year.
better. The Cavs are just in a lot better spot because they essentially got Andre Drummond for nothing. So they have a guy to build around. They've got a solid guard duo. They've got Kevin Porter Jr. that if they let him spread his wings, I mean, he can actually be really good.
And they got him
And
for
going
pretty
back-
much nothing, Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah. he's
Going
pretty
back
much
to
nothing.
Andre Drummond, in my mind, you need to get rid of Tristan Thompson this offseason to get him as many touches as possible.
For sure.
In my opinion.
I think Tristan Thompson would be good in like a Houston or a Boston.
I think that if we gave Andre Drummond more time, I shouldn't even say time. I should just say more touches, more minutes,
He should
more of
be
everything.
the leader of that team.
100%.
I also-
100%
Him and
agree.
Colin Sexton should each be scoring 20 plus a game, and Sexton should get 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Drummond should get 20-20. He should average 20-20 again. And Garland should worry about scoring 10 points and getting 10 assists. And half of them should be lobs to Drummond. I mean, they should just let him be a beast this
And
year.
with their pick, everybody's saying they're going to pick Obi Toppin, the guy from Dayton.
I think, honestly, I don't mind it.
I don't either.
Because
He
that's
can
how
learn
you
from
get
us.
rid of Kevin Love.
Yeah,
Indeed.
very true. That
That's-
is very
Clear
true.
up cap space.
Clear
Maybe
up
not
cap
even use it
space.
this year. Maybe sign a couple of mildly cheaper guys and look for the future. That's
Trade
exactly
Kevin
what.
Love for draft picks and like a Zach Collins or something like that.
Casually
Exactly.
trades Kevin Love back to Minnesota for number one pick.
I would quit my fandom. I'd be done just right there.
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, no, but I would make it work. I don't care.
Brady, what do you think? We haven't talked about the Jazz yet. What do you think the Jazz need to do this offseason?
I think they need to tell Mike Conley to go find his Memphis form. Because Mike Conley did not look good until the bubble. whatsoever.
He looked real good in the Bowl.
They also need to find some forwards.
T.J. Warren.
That's true. T.J. Warren did look really good.
Had something in my throat.
They should trade Rudy Gobert.
I was gonna say they need to at least consider moving Rudy Gobert. Like, yes, Covenants it looked really bad. Rudy Gobert's like he's good,
Really?
but I mean, like, even then, they just need to find maybe a trade partner, get a high draft pick.
The thing with this year's draft, though, is it's not, in my
Strong.
opinion at least,
There's no
A very-
Zion. There's
yeah.
no Jaw.
or even a Tyler Hero. You know?
Well, there might be. We won't know until
Yeah, that's
the
true,
end of
I
the
guess.
season.
I keep forgetting that Tyler Hero wasn't like a top 5 pick.
No.
He's top 5 talent for sure, in my opinion. I think he's one of the better
I
rookies
was
in
gonna say
that
he
class
looks
for
really
sure.
good.
I think that Miami has found
Nothing
a good young
makes me
shooter.
laugh more than realizing that Kendrick Nunn got all rookie first team. Tyler Hero didn't, and then by the finals, Kendrick Nunn was barely playing, and Tyler Hero was.
Alright, I want to bring up college basketball and how they didn't happen last year and Dayton got screwed over from a chip.
Who?
Dayton.
Screwed over from a chip.
They
Really.
were playing
They-
well.
Dude,
they were
Dayton
playing
was
very
not-
Dayton
well.
wouldn't have won.
Dayton would not have won the 2020 NCAA men's basketball tournament.
They were playing well,
Final
though.
statement. And they were playing well. I don't disagree. However, I think that bigger, more experienced powerhouse programs such as Duke, Kentucky, or North Carolina have the experience both in their coaching, obviously John Calipari, Coach K, and Royce. His name's escaping me at the moment. I have no idea why.
I don't know what you're talking about, so.
North Carolina's head coach.
Calipari? Or is that
That's Kentucky.
Or Kentucky. Same thing.
Words are hard.
No.
Whoever North Carolina's head coach is, it'll come back to me probably after we get done recording. But those guys have enough championship experience, in my mind, to lead a program, more so than Dayton. Am I saying that Dayton could not have been a Cinderella? No.
I'm like, Dayton was ranked top
Somebody
3.
eventually was going to stop Obi Toppin, though.
Agreed.
Or not. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. We'll
We'll
never
never
actually know.
Yeah.
Really? You're gonna pull out seat check in the middle of a podcast? Well, what a guy.
Yep.
No
Wow.
assigned seats here.
Apparently
First
not.
come, first served.
Oh,
It's fine.
I
Just
do
trying
want
escape
to bring up
distractions.
Alex Caruso.
Oh my gosh, of course
Trade-
you want to bring up Alex
Trade
Caruso.
target of the offseason, though, apparently.
That's
according
so
to
sad.
according to some of the Lakers assistant coaches, at least.
That is so stupid, people. So
Alex
stupid.
Caruso
coming
is a
from you.
solid role player.
Overrated.
I think that Alex
You're
Caruso
overrated.
stays in Los Angeles because he compliments LeBron James.
I mean,
In
who
my
doesn't
opinion.
compliment LeBron James?
Yeah, I
though?
compliment LeBron James too. I
Even
play defense
Isaac
and I
can
stay out
compliment
of his
LeBron
way.
James.
No, he doesn't play defense.
Okay.
And he wouldn't stay out of the way. He'd probably get dunked on every other play, and he'd be on the same team.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, also, did you guys see at the last play of the NBA Finals when Dwight Howard drilled a 20-footer?
No,
Right at the end of the
I
game.
didn't watch it. I'm not
Dwight,
gonna lie.
Dwight
I
Howard
didn't watch
pulled
the
up
last game.
right below the logo and drilled a 20-footer. It was awesome. Amazing.
That one guy that put $10 on Dwight Howard hitting a 3-pointer in the NBA Finals and made $5,000 on it.
When Dwight Howard can secretly shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say,
He's
I was
been faking it.
I was happy to see
Faked it
Dwight
anyway.
Howard get a ring. I was.
Dwight Howard and AD getting rings together, boy.
That is true.
Rondo.
I swear at the beginning of the year, the
Rondo
Lakers
already
were like
had one, though.
half centers.
Yeah.
That's true.
You got one with Boston.
Yeah.
See, I always forget that he was with Boston.
I just meant
before it
like
was great.
getting Rondo and AD one together.
Okay.
Because they
That
played in
makes
New Orleans together, didn't they?
I don't
Was
think
Rondo
they
there?
did.
I didn't think Rondo was in New Orleans.
No, he was there at some point, I think.
That's a great question. I don't
If
know.
they played together.
We'll figure
There's
that out
only one way
later.
to find out.
Gonna say.
No. Speaking of like the Lakers and New Orleans, where's Brandon Ingram land this offseason?
That is a great question.
Another small forward, small forward, power forward looking for a team.
I can't.
I
imagine
say he
they'll
stays
leave him.
with New Orleans.
I cannot see New Orleans trying to let him walk.
I was gonna say,
I really can't.
If I'm New Orleans, I'm finding the money. Pair him with Zion. I don't care.
Can we talk about the fact that Rondo, AD, and Boogie were all on the same team and still weren't good?
Wait, what?
Boogie's a free agent right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. You think anyone will pick him up?
I think it's sad that he's not in the league.
I agree.
Does Boogie get a ring though? Because he was technically part of the Lakers this season.
I don't know.
It's up to the Lakers.
It's like Anderson Varejao that one year when he was with the Cavs for half a season and got traded to the Warriors.
Yeah.
And he's going to get a ring regardless of who won.
That was Deion Waiters this year.
That's true.
Yeah, I
there was
forgot about
somebody. I
that.
could
Yeah.
remember who it was Deion Waiters.
Oh, Deion Waiters, the man, the myth, the legend who choked on a
Oh,
dummy.
we cannot talk about the NBA offseason without bringing up the Los Angeles Clippers.
I was going to say the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing. That was my next spot to go.
They're going to be trash next year and trade not Chris Paul, but Paul
Paul
George.
I was going to say, I hate to break it to you, but Chris Paul's not there anymore.
Well, they both played for the Thunder.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Man, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin.
You mean to
one
tell
back
me that
down.
Lob City still isn't a thing?
I've been in a coma for 10 years. What did I miss? I can't wait to go see a Lob City Clippers game. Well, I hate to break it to you, kid. No, the Clippers and the Rockets are the two interesting spots of the league.
Think about Tyronn Lue's career. I saw this on Instagram today. He's played with Kobe. He's coached LeBron.
Got stepped over by a...
That's probably his most famous moment.
Oh, for sure.
Let's all be real here.
Played in LA.
He won a chip as a coach. LeBron was really the coach, but he had the title as the coach.
He got the ring.
Yeah, he has the ring to
Matters.
prove it.
Yeah, he also, you could say, he came
he
back
won
from a 3-1 deficit.
No, LeBron came back.
LeBron.
Well,
came back
yeah,
from
but
a
he was the
3-1
coach.
deficit.
No, LeBron was definitely the coach at that point.
LeBron was the coach, general
was
manager,
like the entire. He was
basically
like
the owner.
LeBron was the
He
entire
probably ran the
organization.
concessions too. Let's be real.
Jack that
Bro, hey man, every
He
Tuesday
didn't
game
run
is
the
not
front
Tuesday.
office. I'm going to say that.
What do you mean? Do you not remember when he said we need a playmaker? They brought in Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade, Kyle Korver,
Yeah.
George Hill,
I swear, Kyle Korver.
Jay Crowder. They had Isaiah Thomas
That's
for a
the
little
year
bit too.
after their GM left.
Oh, Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, that's because LeBron did all the work.
Yeah.
And he went to the Pelicans and actually made us somehow good.
Did anyone else remember when LeBron was like in the middle of the whole tampering thing? Like, do we find him? Do we not? It was like right before. It was like a little bit before ED got traded there. Everyone's like, "It's tampering." Everyone else, "No, it's not."
Alright, while we're talking about LA, how about Montrezl Harrell in free agency? Will he leave the Clippers? I think
I
he
don't know
will.
if the Clippers have the money to keep him.
I think
He's
he's
already
They already have
Sixth
two
man of the
huge
year.
contracts.
They already have Kawhi and Paul George on their books.
But they
Lou
might
Williams
trade
isn't
Paul
cheap
George.
either.
And Montrez
True.
deserves to be a starter somewhere.
I think.
True.
I think Houston
I
should
don't know.
go after him.
Oh,
But he's not a stretch five. He's not shooting the ball from outside, and that's what they need. They need, like, Miles Turner, who's a three-point shooter
That'd be.
at the five. I've heard that 1,000 times.
I'm
Miles
curious
Turner
to
the
see if
Rockets,
Miles Turner will.
can
I
I
don't know
say
who they're
something
gonna
about the
trade,
Houston
but-
Rockets as well?
Yeah, just while we're
And
here.
my
let me
mind-
guess, you hate small ball.
I don't hate
No, bro,
small
that's-
ball. I just don't think that it's sustainable unless you have a shooting team like the Warriors.
I
You
hate
have
small
Rockets-
ball.
two
ball.
guys that were a legitimate. I'm
That's
not
pretty
saying
bad.
Russ isn't a legitimate threat to shoot the three ball at all.
You're right.
Obviously, he's a great player, former MVP.
He's not a legitimate threat to shoot the three ball.
Bro,
He's not. He's more of a driver, slasher, dunker, all that good stuff.
just trade.
He's
him
not
to
a
New York.
Klay Thompson or a Steph Curry. In my mind, small ball only works if you have great shooters like that.
I think Russ is too old to save New York.
Bro, there's nobody saving New York. I don't even know if LeBron can save New York at this point.
Well, no, you rebuild the team.
Giannis could save New York.
No.
Giannis can't even save Milwaukee. He's got back-to-back MVPs and can't make it out of the second round against the Heat.
Hot take.
Hey man.
His younger brother's actually better.
Hey man.
He did win a
Which
chip
one?
before him.
Hey man. Costas did win a ring first.
Costas is the best Antetokounmpo.
Onto the Kubros.
Alright, I'm going to bring up another
They would have
LA.
won if they played Thanasis more, don't at me. Should have put Thanasis on Jimmy. Would have locked him up.
I'm going to bring up Dwight Howard.
Who
Is he
wants
going to
bring
stay
up
out?
Howard?
Is
He got his ring. He doesn't care what he does now. He can retire for
I'm
all
gonna
we
say,
know.
the real question is does Dwight Howard even
That man's gonna roll in the Benjamins for the rest of his life. Either way, I think he comes back. I think he'll sign a 1-year contract somewhere.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games till Dwight Howard just casually becomes a rec coach, be like, yeah!
Huh?
What?
Never mind.
Oh
moving on.
man.
Moving on.
I think Dwight Howard coming back. I think he'll come back for 1 more.
You think? To the Lakers or somewhere else?
I mean,
I think he stays in the Lakers.
like I said, I think that staying in the Lakers would be like in his best interest if he wants to win another ring. That's
I will not be surprised if the Lakers front office literally uses the term "run it back." Bring everyone back. Doesn't
Including
matter
the
the
coach.
money. Just do whatever they can, and let's see if the exact same team can win a
hey
championship.
man, cost us for MVP.
Hey man.
No, I was gonna say the Lakers. They're gonna try to retain as much of that roster as they can. Even
Well, that's
good
what
coach
most
to be able
championship
to beat.
squads do anyway. Right?
I mean, there are some that for some ungodly reason win and then just blow everything up.
Yeah, like the Marlins did. They've won 2 championships, 2 World Series titles, and each year right after that they decided to completely blow the team up and start right over.
Well, I mean, both
Well, that
both
might have
years
been because of
both
contract
years.
situations.
But I mean,
After guys win a World Series, they're like, "Well, obviously I'm the best player in the world, so I need to like triple my contract."
but
And they're
like, both years when the Marlins won the World Series, they were never supposed to be a playoff team. They literally both years they made the playoffs by accident, like they did again this year, and finally lost the playoff series
Ooh,
after.
Another thing to bring up while we're discussing the NBA. The MVP award. What do you guys think? Do you think it should have been LeBron, or do you think it was
I've got no
Giannis?
complaints either way.
I think it should have been LeBron. He's just was the better
I think
overall
statistically
player.
LeBron destroyed it, but that's exactly what he was going for. But at the same time, the words are most valuable player. LeBron, to me, was not the most valuable player on that team. Anthony Davis was. If he wasn't the most valuable player on his own team, I don't think you can give him the lead.
I agree with that because
Giannis was far and away the top player.
if you take away Giannis from the Bucks, they have Chris Middleton. That's about it.
Chris
And he
Middleton-
went off in the
And Brook
bubble.
Lopez.
Chris Middleton can drop a 40-piece one game that Giannis plays. He can't carry them a whole season.
No.
Right. And Chris
especially now
Middleton's a
that
good
Eric
player.
Bledsoe.
He's an all-star.
They turn into an Orlando Magic without Giannis.
Right.
Sneak in as an 8 seed, win maybe a game, maybe they sneak in 2, and they get blown out in the first round.
Then they get another average draft pick, draft another average player, and the cycle continues.
He's supposed to be the savior for
What
the
are you
Cavs.
talking about?
The Cavs are like all hyped about him.
Yeah,
Who
no.
is it?
Who is that?
Some Dean Wade.
Freaking Dean Wade.
Who is
Dean
that?
Wade.
I really haven't
Dean
been
Wade.
paying
You know
attention.
why I know the name Dean Wade? Shut up.
Played for Kansas State.
Dean Wade is a guy that is in the same boat as Taco. Didn't play like official minutes his rookie year.
He was injured his
So
rookie
he's
year.
up for rookie of the year next year. So in NBA
Oh, is this the guy that we
2K21
drafted that was like always had that big knee problem from Memphis?
No,
Is
he's
that
from
him?
Kansas State.
Kansas State? Okay.
Maybe.
I
He
thinking
was
something
injured
different.
all last year,
In,
though.
for the beginning of 2K21, if you played a My League, Dean Wade won Rookie of the Year, averaging like .02 point or like .2 points per game. But because he was the only rookie in the game, because the draft hasn't happened yet, none of the other rookies are in the game. So he won Rookie of the Year every single time. I think they took it out of the game now until the actual draft happens.
Ben
but-
Simmons 2.0, don't at me.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons almost collected his third Rookie of the Year award this season.
Only
Fun fact.
third?
Yep.
Seems like it's been a lot more than that for good old Ben Simmons.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Bree, what do you think the Jazz should do with Donovan Mitchell? Do you think they should try and build around him?
I think they should try to build around him solely by finding forwards that are actually competent. Like, yes, Bojan can shoot.
Don't crap on my boy Joe Ingles.
Joe Ingles can shoot. Royce O'Neal can shoot.
Person
But
that
none
can
of-
shoot,
but
he's
no-
a defender.
That's not what 2K says. Anyway.
Dear God, those two
2K
Yeah, and I have the best center on the planet.
Who?
Karl Anthony Towns.
Not according,
That was
to
the
not
point.
according to Joel Embiid.
Exactly.
No, they need to find a forward playmaker. It can't be the Gobert and Spider show. It can't be. I mean, yes, Mike Conley's there
Why
now,
not?
but they need another forward.
They need another
a
piece.
playmaker.
They're missing a piece.
They're missing a third star. Yeah, that's how you win the world. That's how you win the league now.
Because like
You have to
Well,
have at least 3.
Mike
Well, shit, the
Conley
Lakers.
is
Except
good
for the
defense,
Heat.
or-
Or the Lakers.
Apparently.
What the frick do you mean?
What are you talking about? They have Anthony Davis,
LeBron James, Rajon Rondo. Did you see what he did?
That was
In the
a Danny
playoffs?
Green.
It's playoff Rondo, though. He doesn't keep that up.
Yeah,
The
he
playoffs
did
is
it.
when it matters the
It's
most.
the only time he needed to.
That is true.
Literally, if you come alive in the playoffs, you're gonna get paid.
Indeed.
Dante DiVincenzo in March Madness.
Literally,
Pretty
no,
much. Pretty
He
no-
much.
only played one good game in his college career, and now he's a starter in the
I was like,
NBA.
literally, no one gives a flying crap what you do in the regular season.
Hey.
If you perform when it matters,
Tone it down.
if you perform when it matters, you're gonna get paid.
It's fake facts.
Like performance when you have to be clutch. It's what matters. It's
Yes.
been Hot Take Sports. Follow us on Twitter at Hot Take Sports 16 and on Instagram at Hot Take Sports 4. This has been the Hot Take Sports crew, and we're out.